Okay, there is nothing like warm, fresh focaccia bread right out of the oven. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. This is exciting. Hi, I'm Christina Vonti Fisher. Welcome to my kitchen. Today, I'm going to show you how I make my authentic and delicious Italian focaccia bread. This is a recipe that my grandmother used to make for us on a weekly basis when we lived on our ranch in Gilroy. So it brings me such amazing memories, and every time I make it, I feel closer to her. God rest her soul. Anyways, so what you're gonna need is 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I like to add 1 extra cup just on the side to play with the dough if it needs a little bit more flour in it. So 4 cups of flour plus 1 extra cup of flour on the side, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast or 1 packet, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 cups of warm water at about 110 degrees, but really you could just use warm water, and 1/4 cup of olive oil. Then for the topping, you need 14 ounces of crushed San Marzano tomatoes, 1 cup of black olives, and 1/2 of a medium red onion thinly sliced. Okay, the toppings are optional. You can do different vegetables. You can leave the tomatoes off completely. This is left up to you for interpretation. But I'm going to make this today, and I'm also going to try a second version with gluten-free flour, and we're going to see how that turns out. So wish me luck, here we go. So here is the flour. That's 4 cups of flour. I have 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Take your dough whisk and just kind of mix it all together. Then you take your 2 cups of water, I can tell that this yeast is already happy yeast, okay? 2 cups of water. And I put 1/4 cup of olive oil. It's the Italian in me, I can't help it. There we go. And you just want to mix it nicely together. You can use a stand mixer. However, this is just such a quick mix that I find it easier just to do it in a bowl. This is the gluten-free flour, and I can see there's a different texture already, and we'll see how it comes out. Then you just want to kind of work around the edges of the bowl with your hand. I just kind of take it and just fold over a little bit to really get it all mixed in. Let's just put a little bit of olive oil. Okay. And then I'm just going to do this really quick. That way it's kind of everywhere. And we will let this rise. Cover with plastic wrap and let it rise for 2 hours. Okay, there you go. So the focaccia dough is made. I'm going to put it in my oven. The oven is not on, just the oven light. I'm gonna leave it in there for 2 hours because it's a little bit colder right now, so I don't wanna leave it on the counter. But in the summertime, or if you're in a warm, dry place, then you can certainly leave it on your counter. Make sure you cover it with plastic wrap or a tea towel. I highly recommend plastic wrap in case the dough rises too high and then it sticks to your towel, which would not be fun. My focaccia dough has been rising for a couple of hours. Let's just check it. I'm gonna put on some gloves. In your baking sheet, you can do a smaller one or a large one. I'm going to use a large one for this particular. You just want to put some olive oil across the bottom. I think I just ran out of olive oil because that's how much we use it in this house. Okay, anyways, just gonna just spread it all over. Slide out. It's the afternoon. A lot of sunlight's coming into the kitchen. Here, just slide it out onto your pan. Okay, then you want to kind of just
say, hey dough, be happy and spread out along my baking pan, please. So you kind of need to play with it. I did this last night and it was so much easier. Why aren't I just filming every time I do these things? It's funny, sometimes these recipes, when I'm testing them, they come out so great when it's just me in the kitchen. Then I put the camera on and, well, you know. Anyways, so just spread it out. And now I'm gonna let it rise for another, I mean, really you could just do this for 15 minutes. I'm gonna let it rise for 30 minutes. I'm gonna cover this with plastic wrap, let it rise for about 30 minutes. Luigi is excited. He likes bread, even though he's not supposed to eat bread. Anyways. And then we are going to add all of the ingredients and throw it into the oven. Okay, we'll be back in 30 minutes.
The dough is ready. So what you do is you're just gonna poke it like this. I'm gonna go down the middle. Okay, that's it. Then you take the olives and I just press them in first. Just press them down. Yummy. I love focaccia bread. And this is so easy, so forgiving. If you're new to bread making, just go with it. The active dry yeast that you just mix right into the flour, so great. Boy, oh boy, do they like focaccia bread. Next, I take my crushed San Marzano tomatoes. I'm just going to put that on there nice and lightly. And this is just one 14-ounce can of San Marzano crushed tomatoes. I think this was a crushed San Marzano tomato with oregano already in it. I didn't even pay attention to the can. And that works too, okay? Now, the thinly sliced red onion. I like to just do little bits at a time. Make a little pattern, I don't know. I love this whole focaccia art thing that's going on. But every time I go to make my focaccia bread, I just love it so much with the tomato sauce on it. I give up on the artwork idea, but I will do that next. I promise I will do that. Once this is done, I've got all the onion on. It's going into the oven for 20 minutes at 400 degrees. Now, depending on your altitude and your oven, it might be different. So you just want to check on it and just make sure that it looks golden brown on the top, the dough parts, and you'll probably be good to go. Doesn't take long to bake this. Gonna sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on the top. And then for me, nothing is complete without a little bit of crushed red pepper, which of course you can do this after you bake it, but I'm just throwing it on now. Okay, we are putting this in the oven, 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Okay. Let's set the timer. See you in 20 minutes. I gotta play with the doggies. Focaccia bread has been in there for 20 minutes. Let's see how it looks. Oh my goodness. Woo! Looks beautiful. Look at that rise. Look at the puff. I'm so excited. That looks stunning. So if you want to get it a little bit more browned, you can turn on your broiler and set it on the top rack for 1 minute. Focaccia bread has been under the broiler for 1 minute after I baked it for 20 minutes. Now I did 1 extra minute just on the broil, just to give it a little bit of a brown. I could have left it in longer, but I think we're good. I'm gonna just let it cool off right here. Okay, there is nothing like warm, fresh focaccia bread right out of the oven. Oh my goodness, I can't wait. This is exciting. So today I made my homemade focaccia bread. Oh my goodness, so good and so perfect for a party. I'm cutting it up into small pieces and I'm gonna put it out there as an appetizer. It's incredible. The dough is so pillowy. The flavor, so good. Super simple to make. I hope you try this recipe. I'm gonna eat it all now. I gotta go. Go, go.
Remember to like, save, share, and that you are deeply loved by God.